Guys, people are losing their mind over development, and we want to talk about the Northern Beaches in this example, and we want to talk about Brookvale in this example. We would like to entertain everyone's comments and the hard and harsh reality of what it's going to probably look like when people develop units in suburbs. Stay tuned. Billy Drury, real estate agent of 7 years. How are you?
Really well, thank you. Sorry for not dressed in suit attire. Feeling a little bit funny about that this morning. I'm technically having a day off.
Looking relaxed.
Turned up for morning minutes, though. Yes.
Looking fresh. I've got to say, I've never seen you happier than on last Saturday when you walked into the office.
Yeah, lots to be grateful for at the moment. So, you know, sometimes you just got to look at that in the mirror.
Now there's a lot of talk. There's a forum this Sunday going on for Brookvale. We've had probably our social media light up more than it's ever lit up in the last 5 years based on this topic. So we had to talk about it. And haters are going to hate, and the people that are sort of pro don't really say much. People that are against it are very, very vocal. But there's things that people should know, Billy.
Yeah, about 3,000 apartments supposedly coming to Brookvale. People look at that and just go, "What the hell?" It's hard for people to actually get their head around that. They already drive. I was telling my girlfriend about it yesterday, and she's just moved into the area. She only knows Warriewood for what it is now, not what it was 20 years ago. And she's like, it's already busy enough. Where are they going to put them all? And I'm like, you see that chemist warehouse? That could be 25 floors. She's going like losing her mind. Like, I can understand. It's got people confused.
Sure does. It sure does. Now, we've got a couple of case studies that we wanted to bring to people's attention. The biggest comment that we're getting from people is greedy developers, greedy government, greedy real estate agents, and then people are saying traffic.
Yeah,
traffic can't we're going to implode because of traffic and infrastructure. What other comments are you seeing from people?
Yeah, the infrastructure is not there to take the amount of people. Where, what's the disruption going to be whilst under construction? Where are the existing amenities going to go, such as the prime sort of parcels of land where they're sort of indicating the height, the density could go is around that sort of medical centered, and obviously you've got the bus terminal there. So people are sort of really, I think, genuinely quite worried about sometimes the lack of planning, because they see the punchy headline of 3,000 apartments coming to Brookvale before they see the planning of it.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about this morning probably the best Northern Beaches case study, the one that flies under the radar. 48 years of talk this has been going on. Tell us more.
So we've had this happen before. We've had 3,000 going into a suburb. Last time we had 3,000 going into a suburb, this is what it looked like in Warriewood. So what's the top line say, Bill? It's development clock. What does it say?
Yeah, I didn't even know about this. So 1978 was the government announcement for development of Warriewood / Ingleside. Fast forward to 1997. I love how it says finally rezoned, as if it had just been done.
Consultation concluded and rezoned.
Yeah, 19 years later. That's brilliant. In 2022, after all that deliberation, Ingleside was cancelled. After 44 years, no density added. 2026, Warriewood's still being built. But that's on an average 90 homes a year. On an average.
So I'm sure in 1978 people were losing their mind about traffic. Actually, Warriewood, another one of Warriewood people losing their mind over was waste management, was waste, sewage.
Yeah.
The system could not cope in the sewage system could not cope, believe it or not. Impossible to cope actually, and it stunk. It stunk in Warriewood. They're like, "Are you serious? We're going to get 3,000 in. We can't even cope with our sewage at all, and we're gonna whack in some more. Are you serious?"
So then tell us what happened.
It was slow. So it was real slow. So jump up and down, haters gonna hate, but no one's telling anyone that this is the delivery of this is not instant. The delivery is far from instant. If you look at Dee Why Meriton, just short of 25 years from concept to delivery. 22, 25 or something like that, with Merit and DY 360 units. That was actually developed with Westfields, believe it or not, back in the 60s. And then by the time they started talking about doing units on scale, which was a fraction of this, it was 360, it was still almost a 25-year delivery pipe. How are people going to cope with traffic? How are people going to cope with parking? Well, coming out on the other side of it now, people are like, I like it.
Yeah. And I suppose the surrounding suburbs have all benefited as well. I think the infrastructure is actually right under our nose to support more density. It's just got to be in more volume. So it's funny, like think of building a tunnel. Okay, that's expensive. Build a bridge. Okay, that's expensive. What about run more beelines, run more buses? That's easy. It's just the delivery on these things. Like people don't know that the transport, New South Wales Transport have ordered a whole fleet of new buses, all electric. It's just they take time to be delivered. So that's why you're seeing sort of a mix match of buses.
But let's just assume that they know what they're doing in planning.
Yeah, true.
Because they are highly educated in that exact field. I think, and of course, this is coming out of a greedy real estate agent's mouth, but who just is going to benefit from it. I don't know how, but anyway, directly. Don't know how, but there are 280,000 residences. People, residents. There are 105,000 properties. There are 105,000 properties. Now,
across the northern beaches we're talking about?
Right now, across the northern beaches, Spitbridge up to Palm Beach, they're the high level numbers. So, these 3,000, require people that want to sell. Like there were people in Warriewood that were like, "Screw you, I'm not selling," and then sites did not get developed for 20, 30, 40 years. So there is also an assumption on council's behalf that of these 3,000, there will be a portion that would never be developed in the next 20, 30, 40 years, purely because they require participation from the landowners. Everyone's assuming that the landowner is going to partake. Let me tell you, these are stubborn people sometimes. So of those 280,000, say that apartments have two people that live in them, say there's 6,000 people. And so there's you're talking a percentage, within a few percent of the population increase. Sure, it's in a concentrated area, but in an area where there's plenty of transport, and it'll be elongated over a 10, 20, 30, 40, most likely 50-year period before it gets developed, if it ever gets fully developed.
So there you go. That's, the best case study on the northern beaches. It's been done before. It will be done again. Brookvale's the next, celebrate Brookvale as being the chosen one. The place where they believe this is best suited for, because it's all very analytical. So the planning
Well,
department has recognised.
what does celebration look like? Silence.
Yeah, it's and there's necessity there for it. But I think that I like taking the lens of the higher, the bigger numbers, the bigger picture, because it's really sort of a drop in the ocean when you compare it to the total number of residents across Northern Beaches. I think sometimes people's worry and concern comes to, will it impact their property value further down the Northern Beaches?
I think yes. And I think your property value will be greater. If I look at the residual from Warriewood, and if I look at the residual from Dee Why Meriton, and the after effects, positive.
Yeah.
Where's everyone going to park? Where's everyone going to park? We know our transport's rubbish. Well, they delivered a 300 since Meriton. During Meriton, they delivered a $100 million beeline bus transport system, and they delivered better parking in Dee Why. It's actually easier to park in Dee Why than it has been in the last 20, 30 years, because they put in surplus park car spaces. So those concerns people had were valid. I'm not saying they're not valid. They were addressed, fixed.
Nothing more to add on this end. I'm going to put that tile up one more time. There you go.
Boom. Check it out. All right, we'll let you know how we go on the forum on Sunday. I could get bashed up and not actually and not make it out of there. But we're just here to help. So yeah.
There's the education. Yeah, absolutely. Have a good day.
Thanks, Bill. You too. See you, everyone.
See ya.
Have a great Monday. Bye.